I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-looking for another load. Well, it's a family tradition, any Rocky Mountain day. Our fathers before us showed us the way. We worked for asphalt cowboys and concrete kings, but that's never been a problem, cause we got diesel in our veins. We've got diesel in our veins. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks.
What's up, JFW family? Welcome back to the Channel 23 podcast. The purpose of this podcast is to reach out and touch the fleet and engage and inform everyone with all things JFW. Man, episode 160
woo, woo.
today.
Way to go.
Yeah.
And it's a Tuesday.
And it's a
Not a
Tuesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
We releasing today?
Yeah, I was
We
going
are.
to ask
Are
that.
we?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Gonna
Why
bust
not?
up everybody's week.
Because we got to get it out before Thanksgiving. Give them an extra day to listen.
Yeah. Why not? In the studio today, we got Jim White, Brother Dave White, and Super Dave Weldon. Good morning, man.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Top of the day, everybody.
Top of the day, you're away. Let's get the pledge going. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Father God, we thank you for the opportunity to go out and do some trucking today. We pray for the safety of our fleet, all of their families, and all the other families and individuals we come across on the road today. We pray for patience and in making a good, safe decisions. We pray to be accident-free, and then we all make it back to the comfort of our homes this evening. We pray for healing and 100% recovery for all of our family members that are ill. No matter what, we trust you, God, and it's in Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
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 Some extra prayers today for, we got a lot going. It's a busy day. And I mean, we've been busy yesterday, today.
Last
Last
Friday.
Friday was crazy how busy
Yep.
we were. I think people are trying to finish up projects and get
Before
things
things-
done. And,
The fall push, Dave.
Yeah.
right? And I'm telling you,
Seems a little late. But
Sure is.
big
I'm
coincidence
glad.
after
Really
the
late.
election, how the coin flipped. I'm not
Oh.
sure.
Would have been nice to have a day like today in the summer.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
no
Exactly. Yeah. Friday was stressful.
Yeah.
Along with the prayer here, though, and I know we're, like you said, Dave, praying for, all we got going today, but we got a lot of people back on the mend, don't we? I mean,
Yeah.
some came back to work and back in the seats and
Mhm.
doing better.
Yeah, welcome back, Eric.
Chili
He's-
Dog, Coleman.
He came
Yeah.
in yesterday. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Rico, and I think
Yeah,
Stingray's
Rico.
doing better. And, I think I haven't heard anything from Manny recently. It's been a couple weeks, right? He was doing all right. Not,
I seen him post a smoking video the other day. I'm not talking about smoking. I mean, he was smoking like
Brisket.
some
Smoking ribs.
brisket or something.
something on the
Some
grill.
Texas barbecue.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Am I, where's Chili at? How's
Chili
Chili?
Dog?
He's bulking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Balkan.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was back last Monday.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
I thought. And
Yep, just talked to him a little bit ago with snow removal.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, we got some good stuff, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Getting everybody back in seats. That's
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody,
Hawk's still out, but doing well with his treatments, right?
I think so. Yeah. Everybody be careful out there. We don't want any more injured reserves.
Yeah. Yeah. We had the slip and fall, and
2 of them.
he's
Yeah.
he's here working. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah.
Extra
Good.
patience for the guys going over to Fairplay today. They're chaining up. We got 16 trucks over there, or 15 trucks over there, I think, on the other side. And of course, chain law just went up. We were trying to get over there and get back before it got bad. So extra patience to all of those guys.
Mhm.
Slow and steady gets it done.
Yep.
Yeah. No matter what you're doing. I
Yep.
mean, I know they won't hear this till after our prayers here, but
Right.
I mean,
Still praying.
slow and steady,
Yeah.
man.
You've already been prayed for today.
Yeah.
A couple times.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
As a reminder, anything you hear in today's podcast is not the opinion of JFW. They don't pay us to say these things. This is just the men in this room's expressed opinions.
I'm paid.
It was just kind of fun. We're all paid.
Well, but you're not paying me to say what I say.
Oh man.
Too funny.
Oh shoot.
Uh, Episode 159 had 255 downloads. We're at 85.1 thousand total downloads, and we held steady at 652 followers.
Outstanding.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. You know what's driving our listeners, don't you?
Their trucks?
No, that
Our listeners are
that,
driving that truck.
that picture of our truck on the Strong Arm commercial.
Oh, God, yeah.
Helping our
I'm sure hearing a
advertisements.
lot about that.
Yeah. You guys know we're having stickers made, right, for the tailgates?
Uh,
Yeah, sponsored by Frank Azar.
oh, nice.
Yeah. If we're on the commercial, we're going to hit
must-
him for sponsorship.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Man, I know you guys said you had a bunch of turkey jokes,
Mhm.
and I've been telling a bunch Thanksgiving dad
Yeah,
jokes.
Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been telling a bunch at home, and Bella asked me to stop. I said, fine, but I'm not quitting cold turkey.
Oh, my goodness.
Man, you opened it up.
Yep.
Yep.
Time for the dad joke challenge. What do you got, guys?
Oh, do you know what a turkey's favorite dessert is?
I do not.
Peach gobbler.
Oh,
Ooh.
Gobbler.
I like it. Yeah.
Did you hear the one about the rude turkey?
Nope.
He was jerky.
Ooh. Turkey jerky.
I like turkey jerky.
Yeah.
And I got one more.
Whip it.
Okay. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Normally.
Normally a turkey.
Normally I don't eat that much.
Oh, man.
All right. I'll follow that up. I have the best top 10 Thanksgiving Day jokes.
And I didn't hit any of them? I
One.
didn't. Oh, I got one.
Normally. Yep. So I'll skip that.
Normally.
So I have the top 9
Nine.
best Thanksgiving Day jokes. What's the best way to fix a broken pumpkin?
Oh, pumpkin patch or something.
Exactly.
What's
Use a
it?
pumpkin
Pumpkin
patch.
patch. There you go.
Why did the cranberry blush? It saw the
Oh.
turkey dressing.
Oh, that it has to be dressing. There you
Right?
go. Yep.
What did the Thanksgiving turkey say to the Christmas ham? Nice to meet you.
Ooh. Meat joke.
What's blue and covered in feathers? A turkey holding its breath.
God.
Man.
I'll skip the knock knock normally since you did that with
Who's there?
Normie. Normie.
Normie who?
What did the
Normie.
ocean say when it saw the Mayflower crossing? Nothing. It just waved. Did you hear about the turkey that plays baseball?
It only
He
used
has-
drumsticks.
He covered first based.
Ah,
All right. This one was my personal best. If pilgrims traveled on the Mayflower, what do college students travel on?
A visa.
Scholarships.
Oh, scholarship. I think we've done one like that one before.
Right?
I remembered that one.
Right? I thought this shouldn't be on the list. I'm just going to skip it. What's a pilgrim's favorite dance? This is my last one. What's a
Two-step.
pilgrim's favorite dance?
two-step.
Turkey trot.
Bing! Got to win. Good job, guys.
That's funny.
Good job.
That's a dance, the turkey trot.
I don't know what.
Foxtrot is.
Because we do when sometimes I've done a race, a running race.
Yeah,
called the
that's
turkey trot.
yeah,
They have
that's
the
turkey
Is
trot.
it down in
Yeah.
Boulder?
Yeah. Yeah. I think they have them. Some of the cities that we did ours in Brighton.
yeah, Brighton
When you're-
used to have
You guys know which side of the turkey has the most feathers?
No.
The outside. That's from
Man.
Edgar Madrid.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like
Way to
it.
go,
Old
Edgar.
Yeah.
All right. So my joke has nothing to do with Thanksgiving, but I liked it. It made me laugh twice, didn't it, Dave?
It did. It's
Yeah.
a good one. I'm excited to hear it.
So a thief enters a house at night and he's intending on robbing the entire place. In the dark, he starts hearing, Jesus is watching you. Jesus is watching you. Panicked, he looks around for the source of the whisper. When he finds a parrot in the cage with the name Moses printed on it, relieved, he says, "Who's the idiot that named a parrot Moses?" And the parrot answers, "The same idiot that named the pit bull Jesus." That's awesome.
I love that one.
That is a good one. Yeah.
Jesus is watching you. Yeah.
About to take a chunk out of your.
I was reminiscing with my sister the other day, just talking about how we grew up, and I was talking about how we had a happy childhood, and our dad would roll us down a hill in a tire. Those were the good years.
Oh man. Oh, man.
New employees. We got Danny Lopez. Welcome to the fleet, Danny.
Welcome, Daniel.
Yeah, welcome.
Welcome, Danny.
Celebrations, anniversaries. This Friday, the 29th, Tracy Big Papa Holloway hits 3 years.
Big Papa.
Big Papa.
Congratulations, Tracy.
Yeah, congratulations, Tracy.
Birthdays yesterday was Omar Santa Cruz's birthday.
Happy birthday, Omar.
Yeah,
Yep.
happy birthday.
Jonathan McKee's son, Nicholas McKee, turned 18 yesterday.
Ooh, that's a big
Wow.
one. Milestone
It
right
is a big
there.
one.
Be the last time we announce his birthday. Just kidding.
aging out, aging in.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Nicholas, I hope you've registered to vote and signed up for
Registered
the
the draft.
military for
Yep.
the draft. Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. Dustin Romero's daughter, Isabella, turns 15 tomorrow. And then Jonathan McKee's daughter, Taryn McKee, turns 16 on Friday.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
He's got
Yeah.
two back-to-back.
Yeah.
Yeah, happy
Yeah.
birthday, Isabella and
Yep.
Taryn.
And Dustin,
Yep.
or Dustin's daughter,
Daughter,
Isabella.
Isabella, yeah.
Yeah. Happy birthday, everybody.
Shout outs. Shout out to Stephen Jones on his first day in 0044. He found a power steering leak, checked his tow hook and pins, his tool bag, and his chain key. He even had a personal chain tool that fits all manufacturers of chains.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That right there.
Man, that
That's
is
crazy.
being a Boy Scout, isn't it?
It is. That's
on
awesome.
your first day.
Right.
Getting
What happened
signed
on
up.
the second date? No, just kidding. Oh, good job.
Good thing about
Stephen.
second day is he's got a universal tool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Kendrick.
He went to Fair Play and got stuck in the snow.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Just kidding, Stephen.
Shout out to Kendrick for finding where the wheels and tires went on the trailer at yard 23. Can somebody explain that to me?
That was a
What's
mystery, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a conundrum, man. So, Jam, you know, when we sell trailers, we sell all the trailers with dual wheels on them because our trailers just sell better that way, right? No one wants the super singles because they don't know how to handle them, right?
They don't
can't get
understand.
service. Yeah, it just doesn't work well for them, and it kicks ass for us. So, anyway, that trailer I was bound to determine should have brand new tires and wheels on it, like virgin tires and brand new wheels, and it didn't. It's a mishmash collection of recap tires.
You used
Yeah,
And
you would have
used,
a drive
obviously,
tire on
yeah,
it.
and dualed out, right?
yeah,
Dave?
and the wheels are used, and I'm like, where on earth did this come from? Where, and I'm like, I'm finally telling Kendrick and Casey, like, I think somebody come in, wanted our new tires and wheels, and like swapped on a weekend. Like somebody drove in our yard and actually like took the tires and wheels off our stuff, put it on their stuff. I was to the point I was convinced of it because I just couldn't wrap my brain around how we had used tires and wheels. And then finally it couple hours later, Kendrick is over here and he's like, I think I got that figured out. And those were the used tires and wheels off of John Moore's trailer that had duals on it that we ran for 5 years and put them back on there to sell. So, and then I remembered, wait a minute, we bought 3 trailers. I ordered 2 with brand new duals and 1 with super singles because we already had the duals on John's trailer. So yeah, it was like mystery solved. And
Nice. Good job,
yeah,
Kendrick.
yeah, good job.
Way to
buddy.
go, Kendrick.
Yep. Kendrick wants to give a shout out to Jose Barraza for helping him back up into 003 spot last night in the dark.
Nice.
I thought you were going to say helping him back into 003 or whatever you started to say. So I'm like, just come on back. Come on. Oh, you hit it once.
Yeah, but that just goes to show you guys, here is a safety director,
Yep.
a trainer. He runs a 2-day class. Kendrick does a lot over here, and he's still asking for help to back up in the dark.
And that's a tough spot over in the corner
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep. I mean,
1, 2, 3, all
Yeah.
those.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
So-
why would you want to hit it? How
No.
can you get your pride? Take your pride out of it.
Yeah, no pride. I'd rather not have pride and not hit something. than
Yep.
have pride.
Yeah,
and
put it in the spot.
be humble.
You know,
Yeah, thank you, Mike Bortz, for this statement. Pull-ups are free. Backing into something is expensive.
Yeah.
it just takes a second to say, can you please help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me time you, Dave. I think that was a second and a half.
Can you please help?
Oh, he's just a little under a second
Yep.
now, Dave.
Yep.
Doing better.
Eric Eichner wants to give a shout out to JFW for all the support he's received while he's been out. No problem, Eric. Good to see you back.
Yeah, it's good to see
Absolutely.
you yesterday, Eric.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he had a fresh haircut. He was looking put together.
Nice.
It's good to see him up on his feet.
Absolutely.
I have a fresh haircut today. You can't see it, though.
No.
I'm wearing my hat.
Thanks for letting us know. We got to meet Bree's son, Caden, last night. Brother Dave, funny you mentioned his handshake. He said he had a great handshake.
Yep.
First time I shook his hand, I thought the same thing. Second time, I almost didn't have a good grip.
Yeah.
Where we almost had to do it over again. But I was like, what's going on with this kid?
Yeah.
Anyway, and you had mentioned he was able to articulate how early 1 a.m. is to get up to come to work with mom.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, just well-spoken, very nice young man. It was
Yeah.
a pleasure to meet him.
Good
Yeah.
personality.
Good job, Bree.
Yeah. And I mean, I got to elaborate a little bit because you usually don't meet young men with strong handshakes. It's just not a thing, or they haven't learned yet, or,
Or they're woke.
And they don't shake hands.
They don't do it the right way.
They have a,
Yeah.
I'm stopping.
And Caden had a really nice handshake.
good
It was
job, buddy.
great to have.
Good personality,
man.
too. I
Yeah.
said, man, I've heard a lot of good things about you. He's like, yeah, she's making me famous.
That's great.
That's a mama's job.
Yep.
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 Yeah,
Shout
so-
out to Bree too.
Yeah, I was going to say, Dave. Yeah, thanks, Bree, for all your hard work and bringing Caden by.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
she's raising Caden, her and her husband, and working full time, and it's a job, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't think Bree listens to the podcast.
Well, that's disappointing.
It is.
Really?
Yeah.
I have to ask her. I
Yeah.
have to call her out or call her up, I should say. But
Yeah.
Kind of just called her out, really.
yeah,
I think
I don't care.
we'll text her and
I'm
go,
hoping-
"What's up?"
I'm hoping her teammates on the bulk team will
There
be
you
like,
go.
wow, Jam said you don't listen to the podcast.
It's a challenge.
Yeah, she's just mentioned some things to me like, where I'm like, you don't listen to the podcast.
Well, she's missing out
Yep.
Yep.
because she should be a proud mom.
Yep.
Yep.
Any shout outs from you guys?
I mean, my main one was Caden. We talked about it yesterday, and then no, Jam, I guess not.
Yeah,
I don't have.
I do the snow crew, that's not the right words. The crew that came back from Utah hauling salt last Friday, we were jammed up. I mean, I'm telling you guys, last Friday was freaking stressful. We were so short loads, trucks, things everywhere. It was a damn stressful day.
Problems.
Oh man,
Yeah,
trucks
right
Broke down
after-
trucks.
yeah, I mean, it was, I think we had 2 trucks towed on top of the ones that were broke down, and it was just freaking a rough day last week. And we reached out to the majority of that team, and when they were done, they kept trucking for us. You know what I mean? And it was just awesome that they stepped up and helped out. And, I think that's happened one day in 2024 that we needed that. And those guys were here for us.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's not something that happens on a daily basis. It's the last thing we ever want to ask for, but we needed the help. We were literally screwed if we didn't have that help.
Jam made me laugh yesterday. He said, well, what the heck has Brandon been doing all summer?
Well, not up to them, right? I mean, yeah, for sure.
They got the Trump bump.
I'm telling you, big coincidence, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just odd. And
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's just odd.
Yep.
There's a tailgate sticker.
The Trump bump. Yeah, right?
Any more shout outs, guys?
I'm good.
Good. All right. Let's get into the discussion. The meat and potatoes.
Meat and taters.
Yeah. Paycom open enrollment will be open from December 5th and will close on December 11th. No exceptions, all caps.
Yep.
That's from Joanne.
I'm so happy to know we have open enrollment. I'm just not sure what it's for.
Gotcha. It's the
I
time-
didn't even know what OE meant, Jam.
Oh. I'd
To me,
find
that's
out.
original equipment when I buy something from the manufacturer.
OEM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
OEM.
This is the only time you can sign up for benefits if you are not a new hire. Otherwise, you'll have to wait for OE next year. That's not actually true. If you have a life-changing event, you'd be able
That's
to sign
true.
up.
Yeah.
So,
And so everybody knows what we're talking about, signing up for health insurance.
Yeah, I thought you did that like through Flood and Peterson, not through Paycom.
no, Paycom is all automated. You get to sign up for your benefits through Paycom.
Yep.
Yep. That's one of the reasons we got Paycom. And that's one of the things that actually works. You know,
Of
Like,
Paycom,
like,
Yeah.
the payroll and the open enrollment work.
Yeah.
Everything else,
right?
Yeah. The employee
Side.
side or the help area
Right.
is great.
Right.
It works really well.
yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, we are staying with Cigna. So that should make a lot of people happy. We still have open enrollment, but if you have Cigna, you will still have Cigna.
Yep.
And we'll explain the plans on the open enrollment day.
Yep.
Some changes, but JFW is really stepping up to the plate. It actually made my health insurance better.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, because we talk about it every year. Health insurance is,
It's a racket.
it's a scam.
It's crazy.
And it is not,
It's just
it's just not straightforward. It's just not.
It's dirty.
Yeah. It's, there's so much about it,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah. It's terrible. But we got to stay with Cigna, and we picked a couple plans, and JFW is going to step up and help with out of pocket or the deductible.
Yeah.
Right. Which is it, you guys? Because I can't even keep
It's the out of pocket
Pocket.
max.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah, we had to raise the out-of-pocket max
yeah.
because they originally started with a 38% increase for us. And we're just like, are you kidding? It just wasn't even an option. It was so much not an option. Our own insurance agent went back to Cigna, was like, they're not even going to look at that. They're
Right.
just gone at that. And they got it down to 29%. And we're like, oh my gosh, what are our next options?
Here we go again.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way we could afford several $100,000,
How's Kaiser look?
Yeah.
right, Jim? But I mean,
How does
those,
anything else look?
those are
Yeah.
honestly the things you're forced with, you
Right.
know? And the fact is, over 50% of our people don't use the health insurance, but we pay for it,
Yeah.
right? And then the other 50% that do, they're stressed and strapped because they need to cover that large out of pocket. So
Right.
yeah, we came up with the idea, and we were able to lower our costs incredibly by increasing the out of pocket and having JFW pony up to make it equal to what we had last year by covering those few people that if they need issues, we'll cover that.
Yep.
And it's called a HRA, a health reimbursement
Account.
account. And yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's good stuff. We're going to be limited to 2 options though for plans, and
Yeah.
it's just based on cost.
Yeah.
Right.
HSA
Yeah.
and HRA.
Yeah.
But we still stayed with a PPO.
Yep.
So that we don't have to go, we can go to a specialist, but you can go direct.
Yep.
You don't have
Yeah.
to go through a primary. So that everybody seemed to like that.
Yeah.
Any doctors you're using now, you'll continue to have.
Yep.
Yeah. Most people won't even notice a difference
Exactly.
in what happened. But just to clarify, so last year, most people, the plan that you had a $5,500 out of pocket max or a $6,000 out of pocket max, right? This year, to keep the costs down, we had to raise the out of pocket max on the HRA to $8,000. Well, you're probably like, holy crap, I can't afford $8,000. Well, JFW is ponying up. Once you're out of pocket $5,000, JFW is going to cover the next $3,000. To me, that's unheard of. To me, that's, I think you guys stepped up in a big way, and I'm proud of our insurance program this year. So,
Well,
Appreciate it.
thanks, Jim. But it's what we battle through.
Right.
You know what I mean? It takes all of us to go over the plan. Dave just said, he made the statement that over half our people didn't use it. And and I want to clarify that statement. It's not because somebody's not using it. It's because you were healthy
Yeah.
and didn't need it.
right.
right.
That's fantastic.
Praise God.
Praise God. But,
Right.
right. But the other ones that did need it, then that's when you're hit with all this other shit, the out of pocket, the cost, the struggle. And that's where we want to help, and I don't know if we interrupted you, Dave, or you got to finish. We still ended up with a 1% increase.
Right.
And, everybody, 1%, that sounds great. Well, it's a 7, and I'm just rounding up or rounding down a little bit. It's a $700,000 healthcare bill,
Right.
a year.
Right.
That's,
Yeah. 1% of a lot of money is a lot of money.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And we needed to, all of us need to be a family, just like we
could have
say.
easily sat down and just said, okay, we'll just pass that on.
Yeah.
Thanks. We love the plan.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? We could have easily done that, but man, every year we meet with the insurance, it's like we put on our freaking helmets, we put on our
Armor.
chest piece, we put on our boots, we strap up, we load up, we gun up, we do everything, and we go to battle for that damn health insurance.
Got
And
to put in our mouthpieces.
right, Jam? You just,
Yeah,
it
I
is
know.
brutal.
I know you guys are joking about gearing up, but I have to put on this like thinking helmet
Yes.
just to drag myself through it, and I still don't understand it half the
Right.
time.
Right.
You know? So
Yeah,
confusing.
they make it confusing on purpose.
Yeah.
I believe that.
They
yes.
just totally make it confusing on purpose. And then the way how they can twist things,
Right.
it just, oh, damn, is it frustrating.
And I think then we need to talk about it because we did eliminate nice. You know, it's something, it'll be a loss for some people. And we bragged about it, and it was great last year, but not having it saves us all money. And that way we can concentrate on Cigna and the out-of-pocket costs.
Right.
That's where we can volunteer. So, you know,
we're helping you much greater with
Yes.
the out-of-pocket costs
Yeah.
than we were with NICE, which
I'm also interested. I'm sorry, Jim. go
No,
ahead.
I think you're going to go there, Jam. I think Cigna has a lot of the programs NICE have. We just need to check into it. Is that where you were
I
going?
know they push their telehealth a lot.
Along those lines, yeah, they have telehealth, but what I was understanding, and when you get into it with the girls, because we're not getting nice, but the free telehealth was a COVID thing, right?
Yes.
Where providers were able to provide free telehealth. So that free appointment that we were getting on our phones that we were all bragging about, I don't really know that that's going to be free that much longer.
It did. They were able to start charging for it. I
Yes.
think they mentioned it.
Danielle
mentioned
I don't know. It's that they're able to. I think they have to.
have to.
Sure.
Okay.
That's what I was understanding.
Gotcha.
So
it'll be like anything else. We'll have to adapt and move forward and
Yeah.
figure all the plans out and try
But yeah.
to understand what's
Yeah, but-
going on.
but yeah, like you said,
Yada,
they got
yada, yada.
telehealth, they got behavioral health, they got,
Yeah.
you know,
They got
Cigna's-
prescriptions. and-
Cigna's got it all.
yeah. And the good news is we're staying with Cigna.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
same doctors, anybody in treatment, you know, all that kind of stuff.
That was one of the biggest concerns I heard from the fleet was, you know, we get tired of changing.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Jam.
you have no idea how tired we get of changing.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, we're the one in here bleeding and crying.
Yeah, and the thing is too. I mean, maybe for some people it's not because everybody's got a you know, most people have a primary care doctor, but I like being able to look up specialists, review them, and then go to that specialist without having to see my primary.
Right.
You know, that's
Yeah.
important to
That's
me.
time and money.
Yep.
Yep. So 12/5 at the main yard at 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. Classes for open enrollment will be in the red shop. And then 12/6 over at yard 23 at 5 a.m. And the 5 p.m. classes is going to be in one of the shops that is to be determined.
Nice.
Right.
Yep. So coming up in December, when open enrollment opens on 12/5, right, to 12/11, we're going to have meetings in both yards. One day on the 5th here at 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. And then at the other yard on the next day, the 6th, at 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. to go over your choices that will explain open enrollment, right? We're
10-4.
on the same page.
Yep. That's exactly right.
And it should be relatively easy.
Yeah, you're staying with Cigna, the two plans.
Right.
I mean,
It's not going to be rocket science, and
no.
hopefully everyone's appreciative.
Yeah, sometimes less choices is nice. There's just less thinking involved.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know. All right, let's talk about opening our truck hoods. When we open our truck hoods, please guide them down. Do not let them slam open. We got a pretty big repair going on right now because drivers are opening up their hoods and their shock isn't working, and then it just slaps down.
You know, I know this, and then I seen that chunk tore out of the hood because at first I was like, what the hell is that? And then I'm like, oh shit, that's the whole inside of the hood where the shock's mounted.
Right.
You know, or the shock was still on it. But I think also we need to mention, this is just plain important, but this time of year is when we'll start to get some snow stuck to it and even adds
It's
more
even
weight.
heavier, yeah.
It's even heavier and hard to pull over, and you just can't let that hood slam, man. Stay a hold of it. Let the shocks work. Or, you know, if your shocks are getting worn, just let it fold down by hand. Hold it, you know?
Yeah, you should be in the front of your truck by your bumper when you open the hood.
Yep.
Sometimes you can't get it open, so people are coming over to the side by the fender and just pulling up. because they have more leverage like that. And then they open the hood and they let it slam. You should be, when that hood's opening, you should have a hand on it to guide it down.
To stop it coming open.
Yeah, Mikey was saying that one truck we're actually using as an example here, one more time and that hood will be on the ground.
Yes.
That's what he mentioned to me.
Yeah.
And it's not the first truck either. We've seen it in, I don't know, at least a half a dozen or more.
Yeah, we just talked about it 30 days ago.
Yeah, they start cracking. But if you keep doing it, then that whole piece, like Jim just said, the entire mount pulls right out of the hood.
Yeah, they weren't meant to be opened that way.
No, and I had a test drive one time do that, and I'm like, whoa, you got to be careful. And his answer was, well, my Freightliner has shocks, and it just comes down really slowly. I don't think any of the Kenworths do. I know they have the air shocks inside, but if you just let them go, they're going to hit pretty hard.
Right.
Maybe it's, the shape of the Cascadia hood is more balanced. I'm not sure, but it's not your old Freightliner. It's a brand new Kenworth. So let's take good care of that.
Right.
All right. Next on the list, know your truck systems, what your gauges are for, what they mean, and what range they should be in. So we had a driver that got pulled in for an inspection over at Mile High, and we got a call that his truck is out of service because his air gauges aren't working. When we hear that, we assume, which we shouldn't assume, right? I mean, logically, because for us to have a truck shut down, that would be the primary and the secondary air gauges aren't working. Those are the gauges that tell how much air your system is holding, and it needs to hold a certain amount to be in service. These are also the gauges when you do the pump down test, right? Where you pump your brakes, you'll see those gauges go down. The light and alarm come on at 60 pounds, I believe. And then at 45 pounds, both your red and your yellow valve are going to pop off.
They're supposed to.
They're supposed to.
Yep.
If those things aren't working, you're out of service. Well, when the officer came to the truck and looked at the air gauges, they said 0. Okay. But those air gauges were the applied brake pressure gauges.
Brake application gauges.
Brake application gauges, not your system pressure.
Correct.
Right? It's really important for you to be knowledgeable about your truck. You need to perfect your craft, because that driver would have had a ticket for that if we hadn't called and tried to get to the bottom of it and get a picture and look at the gauges ourselves. When I spoke to the police officer on the phone, I said, hey, those gauges that you're looking at is not his primary and secondary gauges. He laughed and he said, well, it would be helpful if your drivers knew where their air gauges were at. How do you argue with that? I mean, I wanted to be like, it would be helpful if you knew too, but he might have known and didn't.
It's not his truck, right, Jim?
Right.
I mean,
yeah, but if he's going to write a ticket for it, that's a whole nother Oprah. I just agree with him.
Yep.
Because it's true. Our drivers should know where their air gauges are at. That's something that you learned in CDL school to get your CDL. So whether you're a JFW driver or not, you should know that.
And you can't, if your gauges aren't working, you can't leave the yard.
Right. If you had 0, you wouldn't be rolling.
Yeah.
Right. So it would be a malfunction in the gauge perhaps, but that whole deal is just disappointing.
It's just mind-boggling, Jam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How do you know how much air you have to even push in your brake valves, to even release your brakes, to drive your flipping truck off? And I'm just talking about it right now. I'm pissed off. Last week when it happened, I was pissed off, but I'm even more dumbfounded at how that happens.
Do you remember what we talked about last Wednesday in the podcast about the proper way to build air before you move the truck in the winter?
Absolutely.
How does this driver know how to do that? If he just listened to the podcast, did he not listen? Did he not understand? Or did not care? Because we went over it. If you're doing that, you would know where those air gauges are at.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You'd be building air and looking at those gauges that say 0 for 20 minutes and be like, something's wrong.
Right.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. And you just, even, I'm giving the driver a benefit of the doubt. Even if you got nervous at the stop, you know what I mean? And you're not, you don't like policemen or whatever. You know what I mean? Because it brings your blood pressure up a little bit whenever you're pulled
like
over.
when Paco got pulled over. Remember that?
yeah, exactly. But if you know your truck, you shouldn't be nervous.
No.
And you don't have to explain how they work. You just need to know where they're at and what they're doing. You don't need to go that, hey, they register, 2 PSI per square inch. You don't need that stuff. You just need to know where they're at.
It would be good if you could explain how they work.
Well, I meant the workings of them, Dave. I mean, obviously, if you know where they're at, you know how they work because it's registering the air in the truck. So, yeah, I mean,
as I'm on the phone, after the cop laughed at me, I hear him scream to his partner, hey, don't write that ticket. Right. We ended up getting another ticket, though, because those guys got a little egg in their face. They have a truck. They were about to write a ticket. Well, let's find something else wrong.
Sure.
So,
And do we know what that violation was?
it was for a small hydraulic leak. So I don't know what it was written up as. I'll see the citation this evening. But he had a small hydraulic leak that he was written up for. Some BS.
Which could be out of the vent hose.
Yeah.
And not leaking if we could have proved it or been aware of
The
it.
tank, vent.
Yeah.
Right. And then it's a mineral oil, so it's not the same as diesel.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, we got our ass kicked last week. So
Last 2 weeks, Jim,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, that was
Not-
Friday as well, Jam, on top of all the other. I mean, it was war last Friday, man. It was freaking war. We needed everybody's effort, everybody's help, everybody's assistance. It was a rough day.
So not only should you know your air system, you need to know all the systems. The air's a big one, but know how your truck works. All right, next. Do not do a key reset without talking to the shop first. Mikey had to go up to Fairplay late Thursday afternoon because the driver did a key reset on an emission code that put the truck in a 5-mile-an-hour D rate. Yeah, we talk about that all the time. I was driving the other day. I kept getting training faults, and we talked about it on the podcast.
We did.
About doing a key reset. So maybe you should call the shop. But if you have a DPF code, if it's an emissions code, definitely do not turn the truck off.
Mm-hmm.
And does the truck tell you its emissions? DPF? Does it?
Well, I would imagine it told me it was a transmission fault. I would imagine it would tell you, DPF fault.
Right.
Okay.
So, but
I think to clarify, if I was to jump in one of the trucks, I think I would call the shop if I got a fault and go, hey, it says a tranny fault. I understand that, key reset. Is that okay? I think I'd verify that just not to get that D rate. Don't you think, you guys?
absolutely. Better to call the shop for everything.
Yeah.
Just, hey, I got this, this is what I got. What should I do?
Yep.
Take it off your plate.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, because one thing will keep you rolling and the other thing will shut you down. So,
Chad,
Right.
Yeah. And because we were busy and desperate, I mean, we've had a couple of guys have to drive it back with that 5-mile D rate, which sucks. And
It's dangerous.
yeah, it sucks for everybody and has to be done though, and another EPA thing.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice that? I know you mentioned it, that,
State of Nebraska.
yeah, but the district attorney, it's not the district attorney. Anyway, he's suing some of the truck manufacturers for collusion in the EPA deal. Yep.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Wow.
interesting.
That is interesting.
Some of the stuff coming out. Yeah. He's trying to get them together, but he's also suing them.
Yeah, I mean, it's not some of them. I mean, it's all the big ones.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's Mack, Volvo, Packard, Freightliner, and
International. was that-
International. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're colluding with the EPA to make money.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's the basis of it, Jam, and that's part of the issue with our cost of living right now. And I've talked about this before on the podcast, the cost of trucks. And that's because our manufacturers are charging us so much because all of their R&D for this hypothetical electric truck that doesn't work. I mean, Jim and I just had Kenworth or Packard out here. Well, we've had 2 visits from them in the last 3 weeks, basically. And the weight of the last electric truck they gave us was 29,000 pounds. Tractor alone. So that,
and ours weigh 15 right now.
yeah, our trucks and trailers are under 29,000
Oh, yeah.
pounds,
Yeah.
Dave.
Yeah.
The rock trailers aren't, but you know what I'm getting at.
Yep.
Holy cow. Yeah. It's just,
And the collusion part of that is that the truck manufacturers are going, okay, because then they're charging the customers for their research and development. Instead of them going out and going, hey, I think this is the next great idea, and having to research and development themselves and come out of their pockets, they're just going, hey, this is what the government mandates. We'll pass this on to the consumer, and you have to pay for it. That's the collusion.
so they've done a disservice to their customers,
Yep.
i.e. us.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame.
Yep.
Not good. All right, let's talk about workplace violence and our workplace violence policy. The easiest way to be asked to leave JFW is to violate this policy. I've seen it before. There's zero tolerance. A few years back, we had a driver get mad at a driver right here in the yard. He went up to that truck, opened up the driver's door, and called him out of his truck because he wanted to fight him. That driver no longer works here. Right? We don't tolerate that. This has to be, not to sound woke, but this needs to be a safe place for everybody to come to work. You can't threaten people with violence and continue to work here.
Yeah, I don't think it's woke. It's just Christian. It's just the right thing to do. That you don't threaten somebody. And sometimes jokes are made, they're taken out of context, but usually that person goes, "Hey, I was just joking."
Yeah.
And it's settled.
And you could not get along with people here. I mean, you could have an argument with somebody. You could, kind of take things a little bit up to the next level, as far as, your interactions go. I've seen that. I've been involved in it. I've had to apologize to drivers here before for the way I've treated them or spoke to them, or I've had drivers come up to and apologize to me for something they've said. So it's not to be sensitive, but if you threaten somebody with violence, that's taking it too far, and you're not going to continue to work here. So,
Yep.
I guess that's it about that subject. But
Not much more to say about it, Jim.
Yeah, it's not tolerated.
no, Johnny Beret had a situation with violence, but not here at JFW. This was out on the road, where he got brake checked, and the person that brake checked him was road raging. And he asked me, like, hey, what are we supposed to do in that situation? And can you talk about it on the podcast? So, yeah, I mean, every situation is different. I will say nobody ever wins in a road rage situation. We've talked about it before. I've seen a video where two guys both get out in road rage and they shoot each other and they both died.
Wow.
I mean,
I remember that, Jim.
yeah, like what was so important that there's two dead, like both of you guys are dead.
Right.
So what do you do if somebody is road raging? He asked specifically, what if that car just completely stopped in front of me, parked and got out? What am I supposed to do? Obviously I would say lock your doors, keep your windows up, don't get out of the truck would be the first thing. If somebody was to break in your truck or something like that, break your window, you got to do what you got to do to protect yourself.
Right.
I mean, I don't really know what else to say about that either. If you feel like you're in danger and of being hurt or great bodily injury or death, you gotta protect yourself. But getting out of the truck just because they stopped and they got out of their car, that's not going to be the right thing to do, because nobody's going to win in that situation. If you got out and, you felt threatened and legally you were able to defend yourself, but got hurt in that situation, not worth it. If you hurt that person in the situation, we all know everyone's got it out for the big trucks. You're a driver of a big truck, whether you're right or wrong, depending on how much money you have is going to depend on, how much trouble you may get in or not, and what kind of defense attorney you could get and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I'd say stay in the truck, keep everything locked until things, get escalated from there.
I mean, hopefully we don't ever have to cross that bridge. Johnny, you did a great job, I think. I watched the video and I was dumbfounded. We don't understand what this guy's problem was.
Right.
The second, Johnny's going up 285, gets to a passing zone, he scoots over to the right lane.
Yep.
He's chugging up the hill, and this pickup comes past him and gets in front of him and, brake checks him like 3 times and damn near brings him to a stop. I mean, it was single digits, probably below 5 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And you're just, Johnny put his hands up like,
Loaded.
what did I do? Questioning,
Right.
which I don't know a human being in that situation that wouldn't have done that.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so I there's just nothing wrong with what Johnny did. And I think this guy was a cuckoo. That doesn't explain it. That doesn't
Yeah.
make it better. That doesn't anything. And unfortunately, I think we could just run into those people. It's going to happen. You
How
know?
come you don't ever run into them at Walmart, like inside the store? You know
Well,
what
I mean, how many shootings have they had at Walmart?
Well,
Yeah,
that's true.
sometimes you do.
know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just no,
It's just
no rhyme or reason for it. There's
Yeah.
some crazy people out there. And
absolutely. The car just gives these people this added sense of protection where they get to
yes,
act outside of their normal character.
Agreed.
Yeah, they're
You know?
incognito when they're in the car.
Well, they're protected. They're in
Yeah.
this big piece of steel with an engine and wheels, and they could get away. You know what I mean? It's not like they're just going to get slapped or punched for getting too close. you
Well, they're
know?
not face to face. It's kind of like some
chicken shit.
big shot over a CB radio. You've heard that a million times, you know,
Same thing.
and they got big radios, big echo and everything else. They sound like a monster on the CB, but you get them out and they're 5 feet tall and 125 pounds.
Imagine
that's the elevator thing. Right?
Yeah.
You would never say that to that person if they were on the elevator.
Exactly.
Right, standing right next
Yeah.
to you.
Imagine you're in Costco and you're going down the dog food aisle and some person just comes and cuts you off with their cart and slows down and makes you try to hit them with the cart. Like, you'd be like, what the hell just happened?
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I got to jump out of place here a little bit, Jam. I'm sorry, but I wonder if that's kind of the 285, Highway 285 stigma that we have going. So one of our topics we're going to talk about, and I know we talked about it last week as well, but that's the speed coming across 285, specifically through Bailey, Conifer, out in Park County, you know, coming from Jefferson towards Como and all that. I believe that they have our number. They've pulled us over 2 times. We've gotten 2 tickets in the last couple weeks. They're watching for these red trucks. And I wonder if that guy was the same kind of thing. Maybe he's been cut off, or he thinks he's been cut off because a truck was moving over in front of him to get out of the way of 10 cars behind him, or whatever the case is. And I think maybe he might have just said, oh, here's this red truck, I'm going to show him.
Yeah.
And it happened to be Johnny, and Johnny didn't know what the heck was going on. What's this guy doing? I didn't do anything wrong. So I really think when people are up on that stretch of highway, as we've said time and time again, be at your best.
Right.
Set your cruise so you don't speed. That is the very best prohibitor of speeding in the world, is just set your cruise so you're not speeding. And then be mindful of the traffic, the cars that are behind you. Speeds like, you know, that if you're coming up to slower cars or trucks in front of you, don't just jump out and block 10 cars. You know, knock it down a couple gears. Be patient. It's only a short distance that you'll be stuck behind them. But I wonder if that was just a case of that driver sticking it to the red trucks, you know?
Yeah. I mean, Dave, we will never know, right? The pickup was so dirty, you couldn't even see what
Yeah.
state the license plate was
Yeah,
from.
the guy definitely has been
Because
on dirt
I
roads.
wanted a license plate number to turn him into the state patrol. I mean, hands down, and it just wasn't even.
Yeah,
an
because you
option.
can report that easily,
Absolutely.
and they
As
do
road
make a
rage,
phone-
right?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do make a phone call.
Yeah.
Something I wanted to bring up and tell Johnny thank you, and I think this is the biggest thing in that situation, you know, for myself, because I've been in that situation and didn't handle it well, is you just have to let it slide off your back. You just have to let it go. And like Dave said, Johnny just put up his hands. You know, he didn't flip him off. He didn't go to yelling. You know, he didn't try to catch him on the next hill. You just have to blow it off, you guys. And I think that is the toughest thing for a lot of us to do, you know, and not get mad and not try to get even. And cause they're just idiots, and you want to get even. They deserve to have, just like Dave's talking, we couldn't even turn him into the state patrol. You want to get even, like, you know what? You're going to get killed, or you're going to cause somebody to get killed. That's what kind of idiot you are. And you never have a chance to do that.
Right.
You know, and you just have to believe that the wheels of time grind slow, but they do grind, and he will get his.
You
I
know, I
wouldn't
mean,
doubt it if that's why he keeps his truck so dirty, so nobody can see
Right.
the license plate.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
And I
probably
just,
never washes
yeah.
it.
So Johnny, thank you for just being cool on your stool, because that takes a lot.
it does.
You know, there's a lot of patience there, man.
You know,
Yes.
I mean, there's a flip side to that coin too. what if that's a guy that only drives 40 or 50 miles an hour everywhere up there and we've pushed him?
Yeah.
What if we've been in a hurry and he's ran into that time and time again and he wanted to get even? And I'm making that up. We don't know, right? We don't know the situation.
Whatever the case is, even if one of our drivers did something 5 miles down the road, you know, when you brake check a big truck, you're putting your own life and other people's lives at risk.
Doesn't give him the right. And you know what? It's kind of impossible for us to have a truck to push him. You know why? Our cameras notify us. Our cameras notify our drivers, and our drivers are awesome. They don't do that. Yeah. So that's a bogus theory right there.
Yeah, you always got to wonder how far a person's willing to go, right? Yeah. So that person was willing to brake check Johnny. What if Johnny was willing to run in the back of their car?
Yeah. Right. What if he just? That's what I'm talking about. The letting it roll off your back. I mean, what if Johnny was just that upset? You know, because it pushes you to the brink. Yeah. You know, and because. What's the greatest way to get even? And I mean, I know he'd lose the job and everything, and Johnny wouldn't do that, but man, you'd love to smack into that guy.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, with the cameras that we have, if that car brake checked us like that and we hit him, I believe it would be that car's fault. Yep. You know, they would look at that as aggressive driving and road rage.
I was just thinking that, you know.
Yeah. And the thing is, you know, like Dave's theory, he just said, Jam, you kind of had a theory about it. You know, the guy could be just a vigilante where he decided to take the law into his own hands.
He's a weirdo.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's wrong. You can't do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we talking about this next one? I know the question was asked.
I would like to talk about it. I think the beginning of the podcast, when you say it's our opinions, there's probably things that we say just like reading an email or anything that's taken out of context.
Okay. Yeah? So the title of this next segment is called "We Are Hypocrites and Make Fun of Homeless People."
Yeah, and I don't know, you know, we were accused of that we talk about that on the podcast, and you know that you know, we've made fun of homeless people or have a problem with homeless people, and you know, we do, but again, that's a certain type of homeless person, you know, that is stealing and drugs, drug use, and you know, all the kind of things that you know, they can be homeless and not doing that. You know, that's the thing.
And we're not talking about those people.
And we'd love to help those people that are truly homeless and just need a hand up. The cards have not been dealt well, and that's where they're at. But, you know, to help somebody on drugs or the stealing things, and maybe that's what they were forced to do, but that's a tough line. You know, that's tough. And we've never made fun of anybody I don't think we've made fun of them. Do we like the situation of having our stuff stolen?
Right. We've complained that we're being victimized by that group.
Yeah, great word, being victimized, Dave. We were victims in it, and it hurts.
Yeah. I think the thing is when you work hard for things that you have, like, for example, the situation in my house right now, right? I bought a house in a neighborhood that I really like, right? The whole block is a really good block, except for the house directly across the street. I believe they're meth heads, right? There's a lot of traffic over there, and there's too many cars to park in front of that house. So where do they park? Well, they start to park in front of my house. But listen, and I finally said something to a couple people the other day. Listen, I don't own this street, and I can't tell you where to park. But it would be nice when I came out of my house, I don't see oil stains on the street from your vehicle leaking in front of my house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
get it.
It fucking bothers me a lot.
Jim.
Where it's bothered me for a long time. The other day, I finally felt calm enough to talk to them about it, because what I really want to say is probably going to lead to confrontation.
Right.
You know, and I got to be in the right state of mind to actually even approach people about this, where, number one, I don't come off like a complete jackass where they're like, we're going to park where we want, you know.
It escalates the situation, Jim.
Exactly. So when I don't feel we make fun of homeless people, making fun of a homeless person would be like, haha, you're homeless, right?
Exactly.
That's not what I've heard on this podcast. What I've heard is we don't like the things that go on with some of the homeless people that live around here when they camp out in front of our place of business, or, you know, They're urinating out
and
here.
they are tweakers.
And they're tweaking and they're stealing and doing shady shit and stealing from next door. And that's not a homeless problem. That's a person problem.
Absolutely.
They just happen to be homeless, and we may refer to them as the homeless because that's what it seems like they are. Now, if somebody's down in their luck and lost their home and become homeless, that's not a good situation.
No.
Right.
Nope.
We've had a few different people here that have been homeless before, and JFW's got them back on their feet. So, yeah, we don't discriminate. We don't make fun of people for not having things. I think there's a big difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then, again, if we say something, talk about it. We were made aware of this situation. We told the person, thank you. We'll apologize. That's how you feel. That was never our intent. Just like we're saying right now. It's not our intent. And we were just having the discussion about it because it's real life. It's what's happened to us. We're not making this up. We've had batteries stolen. We've had our service truck, whatever.
Stolen and vandalized,
beat up
right?
Yeah. Stolen and vandalized. We had the 7-Eleven. We've had, it wasn't our air conditioner, but next door, we're living the life.
We are paying for it.
Yeah.
We are paying financially, mentally, and physically for the situation they're in.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And it
takes
when I say
from all
them,
of us.
I mean, I'm making a pretty bold statement here, but I think it's 99.99% factual. They're all afflicted with drug abuse, and they're in that position because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we've given jobs to homeless people in our wash bay. We've had homeless people work here in our wash bay that we've tried to help out.
Yeah.
So
I would say the same thing holds true for immigration. I know we have strong opinions on immigration, but it's not that we don't like people of other cultures. I mean, if you look at JFW, we have lots of different people that work here.
absolutely.
And it's kind of like the new guy is it the Homeland Security dude or the border guy?
Oh, the borders are, yeah.
Yeah, the borders are. So he's extreme, but he was attacked by AOC for separating families, right? And he said, listen, if I went out and got a DUI today, I'm going to be separated from my family. I broke the law.
Mm-hmm.
These people are breaking the law. And she mentioned that seeking asylum is not breaking the law. He says, well, do it the right way. Come through the port of entry.
Right.
Do it the right way,
Yeah.
and then you're not
Seek
breaking
asylum.
the law.
Right.
Then I won't be separating families. So, yeah, we're not against immigration, not against legal immigration, but, when our state or our country is being taken over, and it's costing us and costing our families and crime and all these things, it is hurtful to us.
I mean, it's so interesting, Jim. We're talking about this right now. I literally just got a text, like literally. I mean, it's not even seconds. And the border czar's name is Tom Homan.
Okay.
The incoming border czar. He responds to Denver mayor. If he's willing to go to jail, I'm willing to put him in jail because he's put up a fight. The Denver mayor says they're going to fight the feds if the feds come in here to deport illegal immigrants from Colorado that came here as a sanctuary city. And they've said, our Denver mayor says he's going to fight that. And this guy's like, well, just so he knows, he's impeding federal justice.
Ha.
And if he's willing to go to jail, I'm willing to put him in jail for that.
I love it.
So, I mean, we're at a crazy time. It's a crazy impasse, and there's a lot going on, right?
Absolutely.
It almost reminds me of like we're about to hit the Vietnam War era. And I guess what I mean by that is I think it's the first time internally in our country since the Vietnam War that we have so many people in here. Well, I mean, I guess
disagreeing with the government.
Thank you. I was going to say, but because of the immigrants, right? Mm-hmm. Because of the illegal immigrants. And there's going to be sides that you're going to have to side with.
Yeah,
right?
diverging points of view for sure.
You can't be on one side or you have to pick a side. But you're on one side or the other.
I'm picking the feds.
Yeah, that was one of the articles I read though, you guys, is we're under the age of 40, we have the largest generation coming in, and they're young. And when you're young, you're more liberal. Okay. And as you age, you become more conservative.
When you wake up and start figuring out how
true,
to pay taxes.
Right. Very true.
Right. So as you're talking about this, Dave, what the liberal or the long, more open-minded, right? People, you have this immigration problem that then you're going to lead to a conservativeness that you're going to go, oh my gosh, look at the mistakes we made money-wise or however we handled it. And there's going to be a shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No other country in the world are you allowed to just walk into.
Nope.
Not
No place.
one other
No
country
place.
in the world
No place.
are you allowed to just walk into.
Not even the countries that the people are immigrating from.
Right?
Yeah.
We can't go there.
No,
like
you can't
that.
go there.
Yeah. We wouldn't be allowed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and that's I ran across the thing and I'm trying to absorb it or maybe do a little more looking about it, but they talk about the Constitution. Everybody says the Constitution. And this person was writing and said, you have to remember that's the U.S. Constitution. It's not the Constitution for other countries. It's not the Constitution for immigrants.
For the U.S. citizens.
It's for U.S. citizens,
Yeah.
and we are number one.
Amen.
I just can't imagine, I think Denver's at 155 million is what we've spent between the immigrants and the homeless
We bankrupt a hospital.
situation, right? What would that have done for our veterans
Yeah.
that has fought for our freedoms? The things like that.
Or for our roads.
or how about
That's
right?
another story the feds are investigating.
Touche.
maybe
I just had to throw it out there,
Super
Dave.
stoked on that one.
but maybe
Super
some of those homeless are our veterans
Oh, totally.
and can use some help, some
Yes.
medical
Well,
treatment,
yes.
mental or whatever. And
Yes.
and yeah, it's why don't we take care of who's here, and if we can help the people that come into the country legally,
Yeah.
there's our other point.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
So anyway, you guys, if we've offended anybody, let us know, and we'll talk about it. Not afraid to talk about it.
Yep.
SD, you already attacked your speed. Do you want to talk about that anymore?
No, I just want to throw it out there so people are in the moment when they're driving to Fairplay or from Fairplay. Beware, they have our number and they're watching speeds. That state patrol officer told our driver anything from 5 or above. And one guy got a ticket, I think, for +7. Am I right? Was
Yeah.
it +7?
Yeah.
We have one
Yeah.
at 7, one at 9.
Yeah. So, I mean, set your cruise, man. Do not speed
And
on 285.
and where's it at, Dave? The 7 to 9, isn't that above 5?
Right? And a lot of people think, hey, I'm good to 10 miles an hour, but not up there, not right now.
It's not,
Yeah,
no,
you
and
know.
it's single lane. It's a lot of the community, all that kind of stuff. Just quit
Yep.
doing it.
Yeah, let's
You
be
wanna-
good community members.
Yep. You want to eliminate it, just stop doing it.
We're in the spotlight.
Yeah, absolutely. On this edition of What's Next, we got Thanksgiving is next. We have a long weekend. Tomorrow's a normal work day, and then we have a 4-day weekend for most people. Obviously, we're running cores and some random stuff, but
I might be wrong, but the last I heard, Coors was closed on Wednesday and Thursday,
That's
but
what I
back
understood.
in
They come back
in
online
business
Friday.
Friday.
Yep. So we do. Everybody gets
Thanksgiving off.
Thanksgiving, and looks like we got snow coming in tomorrow,
Mm.
but should be done by Wednesday night. So we still have Turkey Day off. It looked like so.
nice.
I think it's going to be great. I mean, a little bit of break for everybody. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone, and
Yep.
I'm pretty excited, so I'm finally going to try some of that deer that I killed, and
Nice.
I'm making a venison tenderloin Wellington.
Ooh.
Uh,
Now, is that backstrap jam or is that completely different?
so it's the inner loin. So the backstrap is called the outer loin.
Okay.
The tenderloin is called the inner loin. So the backstrap is obviously on the back next to the spine.
Okay.
The inner loins is after you gut the animal and you open the animal up.
All right.
There's these two tenders that some people call them fish tenders because when you pull them out, they actually look like a fish.
Oh,
fillet
wow.
almost.
Wow.
And that is the most tender piece. It's like the filet mignon.
I mean, just hearing tenderloins, I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the prize.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so you kind of have an Tennyson.
Tennyson. Yep.
He's got jokes.
Venison Wellington. No, venison tenderloin Wellington.
That's funny.
Well, I don't know about venison Wellington, but beef Wellington is outstanding.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
bet it'll be delicious.
Yes.
I hope so.
The Wellington, don't they like coat it and fry it?
No,
I
it's got a puff pastry. It's not filet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have
yeah.
to ask my
Well,
wife, but she makes
but
some
to get
great
that
Wellington.
coating baked on there, right? Don't
So
they?
what you
When I
do?
say fried, it's not deep fried.
You
Don't
cook
they
it
hit
in wine, don't
in
you?
a pan?
I mean, here's a guy doing it. We should ask him.
Let me keep telling you what I think.
I bet he's read the
I'm excited.
I watched a YouTube video 15 times, but go ahead and call Jackie and you keep telling me, what it is. Anyway, so you sear the meat.
That's what I'm looking for.
In a cast iron skillet.
Yep.
You just sear it to seal it, right? And then you take it's prosciutto and you make this mushroom duxelle and you put that in a prosciutto and then you wrap the meat in that.
Ooh.
And then you put it in the fridge, you let it cool, and then you take this puff pastry and you wrap that in the whole thing.
Wow.
Then you take the egg batter and you coat it and then you bake it.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm excited.
Nice.
Well, I hope it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this one has
What time?
the deer tenderloins aren't that big, Jim. They're not like a beef where you get this,
Chunk. Right?
But
I can come early.
there you go. If you bring something, you can have something. I've tasted your cooking before. Aren't you doing a prime rib and you're doing 2 prime ribs? So we'll just trade.
We should just share.
Yeah.
That's what Thanksgiving's about.
Absolutely.
I know what we're excited about. And I've never seen them, and Allie had to buy them. Is she went to the store the other day, and they had butter shaped as turkeys, and so she's got these buttered turkeys because she goes, "Have you ever seen a buttered turkey?" And I'm like a butterball.
I was about to say butter.
That's what I'm right. She kept leading me along.
Yeah.
Pretty soon she came in from the refrigerator with this chunk of butter that's a turkey.
That's cool.
She did it. Yeah.
Nice.
Very cool.
So Dave's going to see it. He'll get firsthand on the turkey butter.
Good.
Awesome. Let's see. Tips and tricks from Ray Davis. Key pinch point areas on an end dump truck.
We going to do questions from the audience?
Do you have a question from the audience?
I do.
Oh,
Wow.
I do. So
It's so funny. At the
kind
beginning of the
reading.
podcast, it's like questions, comments, criticisms. I guess I need to say additions.
What? I want to
this was
because
posed.
I want to back up and just add 3-point stance. I know we kind of mentioned it. We briefed across it. We've got, a couple of our guys back from injury and stuff. I just want to drive that home. We got snow coming tomorrow. We may need to clean out trailers in the morning. We may not. I'm not sure. Just 3-point stance, slow movement. Your safety is just, it's immeasurable. We need 3-point stance. That's 2 hands, 1 foot, or 2 feet, 1 hand. And generally when you have that position in any way, you usually can't fall.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta just drive it home. Your safety is imperative to us.
Absolutely. And I'm just going to add this. If you feel that you are not in the condition to get in your trailer and clean it out,
Speak up.
speak up.
Absolutely.
Because we'll come and we'll help you do it.
Yep.
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 Whether
Good call, Jam.
Yeah. Not everybody's designed to do that job.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm getting to the point where I'm just about not designed for it anymore.
Right.
I still got a couple more years where I'll do it, but just speak up like Super Dave just said, and we'll come help you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know. I've mentioned that before. That one year when I was cleaning out, Lou was helping me. Lou
Sail
out. And I wiped out good in the trailer, and fell right on my back. And that guy thought I was like dead. I mean, it scared the living shit out of him. You all right? You all right? I'm like, it's shit. That was, I was ready, because you're going, I'm going down. You can just tell.
I mean, same thing with walking through the lot, right? You got to do that poopy band dance.
Yeah.
I've wiped out just walking through the lot.
Right. I have to.
Flat on your back, and it hurts like a son of a gun.
Yeah.
It's concrete.
If that happens, just start making snow angels and
We'll look cool.
You'll think you did it on purpose.
Yep.
But be super careful.
Yeah.
And also buy some cleats for your shoes. Scooby got me a pair a few seasons ago, and those things are a game changer.
Yep.
Those really bite into the ice, and they will save your ass.
Yeah.
Not cheap.
Yes.
Like $9.
Yep.
Compared to your $5,000 deductible or out-of-pocket expense.
Yeah.
they are super
Or
cheap.
just the plain pain.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter when I say I'm all right, it's going to hurt.
Why are you
I mean,
crying?
Sorry.
I'm okay.
Because I'm happy.
Look at my snow angels.
True. You cry when you're happy and you cry when you're sad, don't you?
Oh, crazy.
So my question comes from Jack Oquindo. Okay, he posed this to me last night at about 5:00 when I was out in the backyard getting some trailers put together and a CB repair. But anyway, he asked, and I'm going to throw this to you, Jim, because it's kind of your wheelhouse.
What?
Have we heard anything about the toy drive this year?
Man,
We were just talking about
yeah, Brother Dave was just talking to me about it yesterday. I don't know where we saw a tandem, and I think it both clicked in our mind. I have not yet, Dave, but I'm checking into it. That's what I'm assuming we will do it, but I haven't talked to the people at Channel 2 or 31 there, the combination. And yeah, but excited to keep giving back to the community. I think it's something that we need to do, and it's fun. I this little fact, Super Dave, that came up several years ago, and maybe I've mentioned it, but our CPA, David Wright, you guys all know him because, he comes in once a month and says hi to everybody and does the books. But through his career of being a CPA, he's noticed, or his opinion is, different companies, and they can be individuals too. You can have an LLC, but companies or LLCs that give to the community, he thinks are more successful. It's his insight over the years.
The gratitude advantage, right?
Right. And you talk about it in your high road hauling. We talk about it here. We talk about how our employees stop and help people. And I think that comes back to you tenfold. I think it's so true. So yeah, to be able to do that for the toy drive and the community, I think, and it's a neat way to do it. I mean, who wouldn't want to drive a decorated, truck,
Right?
So yeah.
I saw all the decorations up in the storage area up the other day when I was grabbing a hard hat, and I thought, boy, we're going to have to clean those things up. They are covered in dirt.
But
the air gun to them for sure.
Right. And by the way, is Jack asking because he wants to take the tandem down there?
He wants to give toys. I got
there
that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But who knows? Maybe he'll drive.
Yeah. Always open, right?
I don't know if Jack could drive that truck.
It's shorter than what he's used to.
All right. We good for tips and tricks?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Key pinch point areas on an end dump truck. And this is from Ray Davis, of course. Tailgate hinges. When the tailgate is partially open, the space between the hinges can pinch fingers or hands as someone tries to reach in to dislodge material. Or when you are sweeping out and you pull your hammer or block out. I know I have once, and it don't feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Bed lift mechanism. The space between the raised bed and the sides of the truck body can pinch if someone gets too close while the bed is moving, or even walking under as the bed is coming down. I know a lot of old school guys do it, but it is not safe and should never be done.
Agreed.
Tell you what, after seeing, who was that? Freddie's nephew. When he was down at Castle.
Leroy.
Yeah, Leroy. When I seen Leroy Powell's video of that bed coming down.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want to be under there. You'll never know what happened to you. That's the good news. Is you'll just
That's
be.
the good news. That's terrible, Jim.
You won't even know anything happened. You'll be like,
Yep.
1 minute here, 1 minute you're not.
Yep.
Dump bed edges. The sharp edges of the dump bed can pinch if someone is not careful when standing near the truck while dumping, or when the bed is coming down. The fifth wheel. When hooking up to a trailer, always have your windows down so you can hear anyone helping you. Use a block, or I like to use my shovel to hold the kingpin plate. I've been seeing that a lot. Guys, when you are near things, whether you're getting on a scale, you're driving in a parking lot, you're backing up, having your windows down is a crucial way to prevent an accident, because somebody may be telling you to stop and you can't hear them. If we're helping you hook up to a trailer and you got your windows up, any of the safety team is going to tell you first, saying, hey, roll your windows down so you can hear us.
Absolutely.
Not just the driver one, roll your passenger window down as well. So, and if you're helping somebody back in, make sure they have the windows down.
Mm-hmm.
Any maneuver, really.
Yep.
If you're backing into a bin, if you're hooking a trailer up, if
Pulling
you're
in the shop.
pulling in the shop,
Absolutely. Backing out of the shop.
Any yard move at all.
Yep. Any moving part can be a pinch point, so be careful and mindful when moving around any moving part of machine. Then he goes on. So some of you liked the Did You Know segment, so here's some more Did You Knows. Did you know the first smooth-sided end dump trailer, the Aerolite, was built by Travis Trailers in 1991? The Aerolite's designed to improve fuel efficiency by removing exterior posts, which saved about a half a mile a gallon.
And that was Cliff, right?
We have
Travis.
Yeah, I don't even know if Ray knows that, but
Right.
Cliff McWilliams, that designs all our trailers. So his son's name is Travis, and he owned Travis Trailers, and that's his design. That's the company was named after his son.
Can we talk more about your guys' relationship and Yard 23? Is that all coming to fruition? or-
We're planning on it, Jam. What that time frame looks like. What Jam just brought up is Dave's worked closely with Cliff, and we added 2 bays. That's the design of the building. At the end of the building, we have 2 wash bays, and then we added 2 more bays, and hopefully they end up being our trailer bays where we manufacture our own trailer. I mean, it's kind of it's like, oh, no. And then slowly it's crept in where it's kind of a dream. It's a goal to be able to do our own trailers. And Cliff's helped us with that. And we've owned, the patent with him. And that's for the extrusions that are through the, what do you call those, Dave? That the extrusions, what makes the extrusions? Do you remember
I'm not being a smartass, but the extruder.
Yeah, the extruder.
Yeah.
But it's
those extrusions are what have the patents on them, just like you just said.
Yeah, they're pressed through that. The aluminum is pressed through it.
Oh, an ingot. You're talking about, they take an aluminum ingot, which is just this block of aluminum, raw aluminum. They heat it to just before it turns to liquid, and then they force it through the extrusion machine. And the extrusion is in the shape of whatever part that is. That's what the extrusion is called, is the shape of that part.
Yeah, we own those molds or have patents on those molds.
Yep. And that ingot, it's just forced through. They know how much aluminum it needs, so they cut the ingot so it's that weight, and they have very little loss that way. And it's forced through the extrusion machine, and on the other side, the part pops out.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty
Very
crazy.
cool.
And those pieces will show up here, and we'll weld the trailer together. That's what we plan to do.
Now, are these bays going to have robots in them?
Yes, with names.
First one's name is Sergio.
They will have overhead cranes in them.
Okay.
How's that?
Okay, but
I mean,
no.
maybe once we get going, Jam, I mean, it would have to be quite a process to have the robot welders.
Got it.
I'm not saying no, but to begin with, no.
No. Got it.
So,
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Did you know? That was a big did you know, because most people didn't know any of that.
Correct.
But did you know in 1884, the Graf and Hippel wagon dumper featured an early lever-based dumping mechanism? I didn't know that, Ray.
No.
Did
I'll
you?
have to Google that. The Graf and Hippel wagon.
I need one of those.
Yeah, but that's just not the Graf and Hippel wagon dumper, Dave.
Did you know in 1896, John Isaac Thornycroft created a steam dust cart with a tipper mechanism? I didn't know that, Ray.
Huh.
Did you know in 1910 the first motorized dump trucks were developed in the United States by companies like the Fruhoff Trailer Corporation and the Galleon Buggy Co.
Mm-hmm. And we looked that up earlier in the week, that the Fruhoff, it's a dude, I don't remember his first name, a German dude, but August, wow. He invented the automatic fifth wheel. Or fifth wheel mechanism, maybe I should say.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know in 1915, August Fruhoff invented the semi-trailer and later created the semi-truck for use in World War I?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
He invented it to tow a buddy's boat, right?
Yeah, wasn't
that's
that
what we read on
last
week's
year?
podcast? Yeah.
Did you know in the 1920s, Fruhoff introduced hydraulics in his trailers, including hydraulic lift gates and a dump trailer? I didn't know that either. Hope all is well with the JFW family, friends, and listeners. Remember, safety has no blind spots. Look and lean. Sit up in your stool. Don't be a fool. It's better to be slow and safe than it is to be sorry. Much love and respect always. Ray, the Black Sheep, 0013.
Good segment, Ray.
Yeah,
Good job.
thanks, Ray.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, I told Dave yesterday, speaking of that, and I know we were looking at a rock trailer that had that, and I need to look it up, but the new Bobcat skid steer, no hydraulics. They're all electric cylinders that run the buckets, and the tilt and all that, the rams, everything. There's no hydraulics, no oil, no nothing.
Wow.
I don't know if the whole thing's an electric, but all the cylinders are. And I know Cliff was telling us about a rock trailer guy that took Tesla's motors
Yes.
and made rock trailer with it has a hoist, but it's electronic. No oil.
Yeah, there's two on one cylinder on each side.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. So something,
Did you know?
did you know? An early invention.
2024.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. How do those cylinders work? I mean, is it gears?
We don't
I
know.
mean,
Yeah. We don't,
It's electric. Dude.
yeah.
well,
Woogie.
operate a sprocket and a gear,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chain
it was
drive. I think it's
it was
electric over chain.
it was something to do with Tesla, because Tesla will let you use any of his patents.
Huh.
So
Wow. That's pretty cool.
on the motors. Yeah.
So, watch you hit us with that high road hog.
Cool. I have a special high road hauling today about Thanksgiving, since that's coming up in a couple of days, and I hope everybody's thankful for everything that they have. So Thanksgiving is the perfect time to be reminded of the importance of gratitude. Grateful people are happier people, but they're also less likely to feel regret, loneliness, anger, frustration, anxiety, and disappointment and boredom. But how do you grow gratitude? How do you stop taking things for granted with such typical regularity? Every Thanksgiving, my family, and maybe yours too, takes turns going around the table expressing our gratitude. The gratitude A-list, those things that we are most thankful for: family, friends, country, freedom, health, work, and happiness. These things tend to be universal. I'm thankful for those things too, but what about the less obvious, the overlooked, and the unconventional? Our happiness depends on our ability to feel and express gratitude. The more habitually grateful we are, the deeper our happiness will be. So I thought I would put together a B list of things that I'm grateful for, hoping you will be inspired to think of other things to put on your gratitude B list. So let's start the list. Toilet paper. Enough said. Glasses. I've aged. My eyes don't focus up close like they used to, and thank heaven for whoever looked at a piece of glass and figured out how to make a lens. Color. What would the world be in black and white? Boring. Color has been shown to change moods, and it differentiates the seasons, and it beautifies life. Deodorant and perfume. Yeah, you know what I mean. Soap, because deodorant only goes so far. Pizza. It's just plain good. Maybe not so good for you, but it sure is good. Opposable thumbs. What would you do without those?
Be a monkey.
Yeah, that's right. Indoor toilets. Have you ever used an outhouse below freezing weather at night in the woods?
Yes.
How about just going out there without an outhouse, right?
No outhouse, just the woods.
That's right. And paper, slowly being replaced for many things, but will always have 1,000 uses. And that's exactly why during these stupid rushes on the stores during the pandemic and everything else, you can't find toilet paper, right? Salt, look it up. It's said to have 14,000 uses. Scissors, who had the idea to screw two knives together? Paint, it not only preserves, but it protects and extends the life of things. Sure brightens our world. Smiles. Smiles change moods of the smiler and the smiley. Laughter, it cures heavy hearts and tired minds and sick bodies. Anonymous acts of kindness. They remind you that there are people who are just good for the sake of being good without asking for reward, and it makes you want to be better than you naturally are. Night. Think about life if it never got dark. I love the sunlight, but think about the soothing nature of night. It relaxes and unwinds. It quietly closes one day and prepares us for the next. And water, where would we be without it? Second chances. Imagine if everything you ever did was the final play. No do-overs. If no U-turns after wrong turns, no cleanups after accidents, no adjustments, fixes, or improvements. Imagine if mistakes were permanent. I'm thankful for what do-overs are not only, I'm thankful that do-overs are not only allowed, but encouraged. Hugs. A life without hugs would be lonely life, so go hug and be thankful. And gratitude. Bet you haven't thought of being thankful for human capacity. Bet you haven't thought of being thankful for the human capacity to be thankful. And a rainy day, few and far between in Colorado, but a rainy day has the ability to relax and rejuvenate. It cleanses everything, and when the next sunny day comes, it's bright and clean. And I'm grateful for people like you who share my journey and forever shape my life. There's a difference between being grateful for something and being a grateful person. The more we truly feel grateful for all the amazing blessings that we make up our daily lives, the happier we will be. And the quote this week, gratitude is to happiness what words are to stories, love is to marriage, and breath is to living, by Ken Wirt.
Wow.
So thank you, everybody, for being you, and have a happy, happy Thanksgiving.
Amen.
That's a good one, Dave.
Really
good
good.
one.
I love that.
I love who'd have thought of putting a screw in 2 knives.
Two knives together.
It just cracked me up.
That's funny, Soup, because my final thought is just a quote about gratitude, so I'm going to piggyback off of you.
Sweet.
Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, and a stranger into a friend. And that's by Melody Beattie.
I love it.
Good one. Good one. Well, then I'll right along with that, Jim, is your normal day is someone's dream. So be thankful every day.
Ooh, that is a good
absolutely,
one,
Jim.
Yeah.
You know, I touch on that a lot when people are so sarcastic and they say, "Oh, I'm living the dream."
Yeah, you are.
You are.
Yeah.
Right. You
Yep.
are.
Right.
I know you hate when people say that. And when I hear somebody say it to you, I always look like, Super Dave going to snap or what?
Yeah, right. And then my last one, and this goes out to Johnny. It just fit for his road rage thing, is you can only win when your mind is stronger than your emotions.
Oh, man. I love that.
And I know that's
Wow.
so true for myself.
Me too.
For everybody, yeah.
You know, it's easier said than done, but
Oh, it's way easy,
You know?
Dave, to say it. Yeah.
I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and to actually give thanks to everyone around them, all their family members, all their friends, to be thankful for where we're at and who we get to share that day with, hopefully. And, just enjoy, take the day off and just be together. I really hope everyone gets to spend Thanksgiving with someone and enjoy. If not, they're welcome to come to my house. If they don't have any place to spend Thanksgiving, come on over.
2 prime ribs.
You can join us. Yep, absolutely, Jam. There's going to be no shortage of food, and our doors are open. So, I hope
really
everybody
sweet.
has a blessed day.
Amen.
yeah, I'm excited to cook all day.
Thankful
You
day.
know?
Yeah.
Jackie's going to be
too,
cooking in the
Dave, yeah.
kitchen. I'm going to be smoking some ribs outside, and it's just going to be so much fun.
Right?
I gotta say, to both of you, I'm excited to go to eat at Dave's house. I'm not doing any cooking.
Funny.
That's
Yeah.
great. All right. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Channel 23 podcast. Smash that follow button. Also, don't forget to go back and listen to episode 72 to help find Amber's mom. Links to her story will be in today's show notes. Let's say decreed and get on out.
Let's do
Right
it.
on.
Together we face and overcome all that stands before us. Together we are accident free. Together we joyfully create honest value for those we serve. Together we celebrate our differences and respect those with whom we work. Together we are accountable for our words and our actions. Together we are our JFW family.
All right, everybody.
Here,
Thanks
here.
for listening.
Have a
Happy
great week.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. and
Be
we'll
safe
see
out
you
there.
next week.
Sounds good.
Bye-bye.
I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-looking for another load. Well, it's a family tradition, any Rocky Mountain day. Our fathers before us showed us the way. We worked for asphalt cowboys and concrete kings, but that's never been a problem, 'cause we got diesel in our veins. We've got diesel in our veins. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just looking for another load. I hear there's a couple million tons to move. I see them everywhere. So you best get out their way and watch that sand and gravel disappear. There's another run to make. We gotta get it there on time. And we got what it takes to lay it all out on the line. We'll lay it all out on the line. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just looking for another load. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks got the best drivers in town. They got all the tools they need to keep that hammer down. When they hit them scales, they won't need to dodge them, won't need to duck them. They just keep that hammer down, and they keep that diesel trucking. Keep that hammer down, and keep that diesel trucking. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just looking for another load. They just keep them doors closed, keep them butts in their seats, 'cause those customers are calling, and those red trucks can't be beat. They've gotta put the hammer down and pick up another load. Get it off the ground, keep them eyes open and on the road. Keep them eyes open on the road. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just looking for another load. Breaker 23, anybody got a copy on that Channel 23 podcast? Welcome, and thanks for listening.